I never expected that a single moment could change everything. I was just scrolling through my phone, waiting for the kettle to boil, when I stumbled upon Ethan's phone lying on the kitchen counter. It was like a magnet pulling me in. A voice inside me whispered to look closer, and there it was, a cold, cruel message from his lover. My heart raced as I read the words, each one sharper than the last. "I can't wait to see you again. You're everything I ever wanted." How could he? My mind spun with confusion and anger. I felt the weight of betrayal settle heavily on my chest, making it hard to breathe. Just as I was about to scream, Ethan walked into the room, his casual smile cutting through my storm of emotions. "Hey babe, what are you up to?" he asked, completely oblivious. I glanced at the phone again, then back at him. "I found your phone," I replied, trying to keep my voice steady. "Looks like you've been busy." I could feel my heart pounding, a mix of fear and fury bubbling beneath the surface. Ethan's expression shifted from surprise to indifference. "Oh, that's nothing," he shrugged, waving his hand dismissively. "Just a friend from work. You know how it is." My heart sank. How could he act like this? His indifference cut deeper than the betrayal itself. "A friend? Is that what you call her?" I asked, my voice trembling. "You think I'm just going to ignore this?" "Come on, it's not a big deal," he replied, his tone casual, as if he had forgotten the weight of his actions. "You're overreacting." Overreacting. I felt a storm of emotions churning within me. Anger, hurt, and a strange sense of betrayal that felt like it was clawing at my insides. But I took a deep breath. I had to maintain my composure. "I forgive you," I said, the words tasting bitter on my tongue. Was I truly forgiving him, or was I merely wearing a mask to hide my true feelings? Ethan looked puzzled but relieved. "See? It's not that serious," he said, as if my forgiveness made everything okay. I wanted to scream, to shake him and make him see how wrong he was, but I couldn't. Not yet. As I watched him, a question lingered in my mind. What does it mean to forgive someone who doesn't even care? I felt like I was standing on the edge of a cliff. One step forward could either lead to a leap of faith or a plunge into darkness. The kettle whistled, breaking the tension in the air. I moved to pour water into my cup, my hands trembling ever so slightly. "I need some time," I said, my voice barely above a whisper. I can't deal with this right now." "Sure, take your time," he said, and I could hear the nonchalance in his voice. He didn't understand. He didn't see the storm brewing beneath my calm surface. Once he left, I leaned against the counter, my breath coming in short gasps. How could I let him think this was okay? I needed to take control, to reclaim my power. I wouldn't be just a victim in this story. As I stood in the silence of the kitchen, the reality of my situation settled in. I was more than just a woman scorned. I was a mother, a partner, and I had a choice to make. What path would I take? Would I let this betrayal define me, or would I rise above it? The questions swirled in my mind like leaves caught in a whirlwind, and deep inside, I felt the spark of something I hadn't felt in a long time, a flicker of determination. I promised myself that this would not be the end. It was just the beginning. As I sat in my favorite chair, the sunlight streamed through the window, casting warm rays across the room. Yet, despite the beauty surrounding me, a dark cloud loomed in my heart. I watched Ethan as he moved through his daily routine, blissfully unaware of the storm brewing inside me. Each mundane action felt like a reminder of his betrayal. I started to feel a strange sense of control. I realized I had the power to shape what would come next. "Look at him," I whispered to myself, half laughing. "He thinks everything is fine." But I knew better. I felt a fire ignite within me, fueled by memories of who I once was, a strong, independent woman who would not let anyone walk over her. I had lost that woman somewhere along the way, but now I was determined to find her again. I began to document Ethan's every move. I kept a small notebook hidden in my purse, jotting down details that seemed insignificant but were crucial. I noted the times he left for work, the calls he made, and the hours he spent away from home. Each entry became a step in my plan, a way to expose him to our daughters. I felt a mixture of empowerment and guilt. Was I really going to turn into someone he would not recognize? Am I doing the right thing? I asked myself one evening, staring at the blank pages of my notebook. My thoughts raced. What kind of person was I becoming? I picked up my phone and texted my best friend, Sarah. "Hey, do you have a minute? I need to talk." "Of course. What's up?" she replied almost immediately. "I think I'm ready to confront Ethan, but I want it to hurt him. I want him to feel what I felt." "Are you sure that's what you really want?" Sarah's words echoed in my mind. "Revenge can change you, you know." I sighed deeply, uncertain. "I know, but I can't just let it go. I need him to understand how much he messed up." As I sat there, I recalled the last time I felt truly strong. It was before Ethan and I had built a life together. I remembered the woman who had dreams, who had goals that didn't revolve around anyone else. I could feel her presence, urging me to break free from the shackles of my current life. The next day, I decided to take action. I created a plan to catch Ethan in the act of his lies. I thought about how to reveal his betrayal to our daughters without shattering their world completely. I wanted them to see him for who he really was, but I also wanted to protect them from the pain. It was a delicate balance. "Mom, are you okay?" my daughter Lily asked one afternoon as I sat quietly in the living room. "Yeah, just thinking," I replied, forcing a smile. "About what?" she pressed, her innocent curiosity making my heart ache. "Just life, you know," I said, avoiding her gaze. I could not let her see the turmoil inside me. I had to stay strong for them, even as I plotted to hurt their father. As days turned into weeks, my heart felt heavier with every decision I made. I stared at Ethan during dinner, his laughter ringing hollow in my ears. I wanted to scream, to let the pain and anger erupt like a volcano. Instead, I smiled, playing the part of the dutiful wife. "Everything okay, honey?" he asked, glancing at me with concern. "Of course," I replied, my voice steady. "Just tired from work." But inside, I was anything but calm. I knew I had to become someone he would never expect. I would wear the mask of indifference, but beneath it, I would be plotting my course, preparing for the moment I would reveal everything. With every passing day, I felt the duality of my existence. One part of me was the caring mother, and the other was a woman on the edge of reclaiming her power. I was ready to draw a line in the sand, and with each note I wrote, the plan took shape. I was becoming someone unrecognizable, and I could only hope that this transformation would lead me to the closure I desperately sought. I never expected to find a friend in a place like work. But one afternoon, as I sat in the break room staring blankly at my coffee, Lucian walked in. He had that easy smile that lit up the room, and for a moment, my heavy heart felt lighter. "Hey there," he said, pouring himself a cup. "You look like you could use some company." I looked up, surprised by his attention. "I'm just thinking," I replied, forcing a smile that didn't quite reach my eyes. "Thinking can be good or bad," he said, leaning against the counter. "What's on your mind?" I hesitated. Should I really share my troubles with him? But there was something comforting in his presence. "I'm going through some stuff with my husband," I finally said, choosing my words carefully. Lucian's expression softened. "Sorry to hear that. If you want to talk about it, I'm all ears." And just like that, I found myself pouring out my heart to him. I told him about Ethan, the betrayal, and my plans for revenge. "I want him to feel the pain he caused me," I confessed, my voice barely above a whisper. Lucian listened intently, nodding. I get it. But have you thought about how this will affect your daughters? His question caught me off guard. What do you mean? Well, if you focus on revenge, what kind of example does that set for them? You could show them how to be strong and resilient instead. I frowned, the weight of his words pressing down on me. You don't understand. I feel so lost. I don't want him to win. I'm not saying he should win, Lucian replied gently. But you can reclaim your power without losing yourself to bitterness. You can be the strong woman you used to be. His encouragement sparked something inside me. I remembered the woman I once was, confident and independent. I don't even know if I can be that person again, I admitted, my voice shaky. You can, Lucian said firmly. It starts with you. Focus on what you want, not on what he did. I took a deep breath, feeling a flicker of hope. Maybe you're right, but it's hard to let go of the anger. I know it is, he said. But think about this. What if you use that energy to build something new for yourself and your daughters? As I sat there, contemplating his words, I felt a shift within me. Could I really let go of my desire for revenge? I wanted to protect my daughters, but I also felt this fierce need for justice. It was a conflict that churned inside me, pulling me in different directions. Lucian, I don't want to be vengeful and still be a good mother, I confessed, my voice breaking slightly. You can do both, he assured me. You can be strong without hurting others. Show your daughters that true strength comes from within, not from revenge. His words lingered in the air, wrapping around me like a warm embrace. For the first time in weeks, I felt a glimmer of clarity. Perhaps it was time to shift my focus from revenge to healing. I could reclaim my strength and be the mother my daughters deserved. Thank you, Lucian, I said, feeling a wave of gratitude. I didn't expect this conversation to help me so much. Anytime, he replied, flashing that charming smile again. Remember, you're not alone in this. As I left the break room, I felt lighter. I still had a long way to go, but I knew I didn't have to face it all by myself. With Lucian by my side, I felt a renewed sense of purpose. I could be the strong woman I once was, and maybe, just maybe, I could find a way to protect my daughters without losing myself in the process. As I walked into the school meeting, the air felt thick with tension. I had prepared myself for the usual small talk with other parents, but I never expected what awaited me. I spotted her across the room, Ethan's mistress. Her presence sent an icy chill down my spine. She stood there, her arms crossed, looking at me with that same disdainful expression I had seen in Ethan's messages. I could feel my heart racing, but I took a deep breath, reminding myself that I was stronger than this. Isn't this just lovely? I muttered under my breath, forcing a smile as I approached the group of parents. I had to act normal, even if my insides were churning with anger and betrayal. As I joined the conversation, I caught her eye. She smirked, and for a moment I felt my resolve waver. You think you won, don't you? I imagined her saying, her voice dripping with sarcasm. But then something unexpected happened. In that moment, an epiphany struck me like a lightning bolt. I realized that I didn't need revenge to feel powerful. I could reclaim my life simply by moving forward. The thought settled in my mind, warming the cold anger that had taken root in my heart. I turned my attention back to the meeting, listening to the principal discuss upcoming events. I tried to focus, but my thoughts kept drifting back to her. I had spent so much time plotting my revenge, but now it felt like a heavy burden I no longer wanted to carry. As the meeting progressed, I noticed other parents whispering and glancing in our direction. I could sense their curiosity, and I knew I had to show them I was okay. I straightened my back and lifted my chin, determined to stand tall in the face of this humiliation. After the meeting, I walked outside, hoping to collect my thoughts. The sun was shining, and the warmth of its rays wrapped around me like a comforting blanket. I took a deep breath, letting the fresh air fill my lungs. "Hey, are you all right?" A familiar voice pulled me from my thoughts. It was Lucian, his concerned eyes searching mine. I felt a wave of relief wash over me. "I'm fine," I said, forcing a smile. "Just processing everything." He nodded, his expression softening. "You know, you don't have to carry this weight alone. You can choose to let go." His words struck a chord within me. Let go? It's not that simple. "No, it isn't," Lucian replied gently. "But holding on to that anger only gives them power over you. You deserve better than that." I considered his words. "Maybe you're right," I admitted. "I've spent so much time thinking about revenge, but what will it really achieve?" "Exactly," he said, his voice steady. "You have the power to define your own path. Think about your daughters. What kind of example do you want to set for them?" His question cut deep. I had always wanted my daughters to see strength, resilience, and love. Was I really showing them that by plotting revenge? "I want to show them that strength comes from within," I said, the realization settling in my heart. "I want them to know that forgiveness is powerful." Lucian smiled, and I felt a sense of hope blooming inside me. That's the spirit. You can move forward without being defined by this betrayal. With newfound clarity, I felt the anger that had gripped me for so long begin to loosen its hold. It was time to let go. I didn't need to confront Ethan or his mistress to feel in control. I could reclaim my life by embracing the strength that lay in forgiveness. As I left the school parking lot, I made a conscious decision. I would let go of the anger and choose a different path, one that led to healing, growth, and the kind of love I wanted for my daughters. I could feel the weight lifting, and for the first time in a long time, I felt free. I stand in front of the mirror, staring at the reflection that seems so foreign to me. The mask of indifference I wore for so long had hidden the real me, but now it feels heavy and suffocating. I take a deep breath and whisper to myself, "It's time to peel back the layers." I think about Ethan and the pain he caused. The betrayal still stings, but I know I must move forward. I want to heal and become the best version of myself, not just for me, but for my daughters. I want them to see that true strength comes from resilience and grace. "Mom, are you coming?" My youngest daughter, Lily, calls from the living room. Her voice pulls me back to reality. "Yes, sweetie, I'll be there in a minute," I reply, forcing a smile. I want to show them that I am okay, that I am getting stronger every day. As I join them, I see their curious faces looking back at me. They have been through so much, and I want to be a source of strength for them. "Hey girls, what are you up to?" I ask with enthusiasm. "We were thinking about going to the park," my eldest Emma says. "Can we go, please?" "Of course, let's grab our things," I say, feeling a spark of excitement. The park has always been a place of laughter and joy for us, and I want to create more beautiful moments. On the way to the park, I notice the world around me, the flowers blooming, the sun shining brightly. It feels like a new beginning. I take a moment to breathe in the fresh air. "You know, I used to love painting by the lake," I tell the girls. "Maybe we can bring some supplies next time. We could make our own art day." "Really, Mom? That sounds fun!" Lily exclaims, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "Yeah, I can paint the sun, and you can paint a rainbow," Emma adds, her enthusiasm infectious. As we reach the park, I watch them run ahead, their laughter echoing in the air. I feel a warmth spreading through me. I want to be a role model for them, to show them that life can be beautiful again. Later that evening, as I sit on the couch, I hear a knock at the door. I open it to find Lucian standing there, a friendly smile on his face. "Hey, I thought I'd check on you. How was your day?" "It was good. We went to the park and the girls had a blast," I say, feeling a sense of pride. "I'm glad to hear that," he replies, stepping inside. "I've been thinking about our talks. Have you thought more about what you want to do for yourself?" I nod, feeling a rush of excitement. "Yes, I want to explore new hobbies. I used to love painting, and I think I want to start again. I want to show my daughters that it's okay to pursue what makes you happy." Lucian looks at me with admiration. "That's amazing. You're inspiring me to think about what I want too. We all deserve to find joy in our lives." His words resonate with me. It feels good to know that I am not alone in this journey of rediscovery. "Thank you, Lucian. You have been such a great support," I say, my heart swelling with gratitude. As we talk more, I realize that our connection is growing into something deeper. It's not just about revenge or plans anymore. It's about understanding and respect. "You know, I appreciate how you've helped me see things differently," I confess. "I'm starting to feel stronger, not just for myself, but for my girls." "I believe in you," he says, his gaze steady. "And I think you're going to inspire them in ways you cannot even imagine." In that moment, I feel a sense of hope. I am transforming, shedding the weight of my past. I am not just a woman scorned. I am a mother, a friend, and a vibrant individual ready to reclaim her joy. As the evening turns into night, I reflect on my journey. I am finally breaking free from the mask of indifference, embracing my true self. I know the road ahead may still have its challenges, but I am ready to face them, with my daughters by my side and newfound strength in my heart. As I stood in front of the mirror that morning, I took a moment to really look at myself. The woman staring back was no longer the same person who had discovered the painful truth about Ethan. I felt a wave of calm wash over me. I was ready to face him one last time, not with anger, but with a sense of clarity that I hadn't known before. "Today is the day," I whispered to myself, a small smile creeping onto my face. I dressed carefully, choosing a simple yet elegant outfit that made me feel strong. I wanted to show Ethan that I had moved on, that I was not the broken woman he left behind. When I arrived at our family gathering, the atmosphere was filled with laughter and chatter. My daughters were there, their eyes bright with excitement. I took a deep breath and pushed through the door, ready to embrace my new reality. "Mom!" my youngest called out, running to me with open arms. I knelt down to hug her, feeling her warmth wrap around me. "You look beautiful." "Thank you, sweetheart," I said, pulling away to look into her eyes. "I feel beautiful." Ethan was already there, standing with a group of friends. He looked up and met my gaze. For a brief moment, I saw confusion cross his face. I walked over, my heart steadying with each step. "Ethan," I said, my voice firm yet calm. "Hey," he replied, his tone a mix of surprise and uncertainty. "You look different." "I am different," I said, "and I want to talk." The group around him fell silent, sensing the tension. "What do you want to talk about?" he asked, trying to maintain his casual demeanor. "I want to talk about us, about what happened," I said, feeling the weight of my words. "But I'm not here to fight." He raised an eyebrow, clearly caught off guard. "Then what do you want?" "I want to tell you that I forgive you." The words felt strange yet empowering. "I forgive you for the hurt you caused. It took me a long time to get here, but I'm finally at peace." Ethan's eyes widened, and I could see the confusion turn into something deeper. "You can't be serious," he said. "After everything?" "I am serious," I insisted. "Forgiveness isn't about you, it's about me. I'm tired of carrying this anger. It doesn't serve me, and it certainly doesn't serve our daughters." He looked down for a moment, and I could tell he was processing my words. "I didn't expect this," he finally admitted. "I thought you would want revenge." "Revenge?" I chuckled softly, shaking my head. "That was the old me. The new me understands that true strength comes from letting go and moving forward. As I spoke, I felt my daughters moving closer to us. I turned to them and smiled. Girls, I want you to know that love, respect, and forgiveness are the most important lessons we can learn in life. I looked back at Ethan. And I want to teach you both the right way to handle pain and betrayal. Mom, are you okay? My eldest asked, concern etched on her face. I'm more than okay, I reassured her. I'm happy. I've learned to embrace both the good and the bad in my life, and that makes me stronger. Ethan looked at me with a new respect, and I could feel the distance between us beginning to close. I never meant to hurt you, he said softly. I know, I replied, and I hope you can learn from this too. We all make mistakes, but it's how we grow from them that matters. As the gathering continued, I felt lighter than I had in years. I shared stories and laughter with my daughters, and for the first time in a long time, I felt whole. Later that evening, as I reflected on everything, I realized that my transformation was not just about forgiving Ethan. It was about finding my own strength and embracing the future. I had reclaimed my identity, and that was my true victory. I smiled to myself, knowing that I was stronger than ever. Share this story if you believe that forgiveness can lead to true strength and healing. Let us know in the comments how embracing change has transformed your life, and subscribe for more inspiring stories like this one.